Breaking tonight, tensions in the Middle East have escalated dramatically after the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, widely known as the IRGC, claimed responsibility for launching missiles targeting the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. According to Iranian state media, the operation was described as a surprise and targeted strike, allegedly aimed at senior Israeli leadership positions. Iranian sources further stated that the fate of Prime Minister Netanyahu remains unclear, a claim that has sparked global attention and concern. Today, tensions in the Middle East escalated sharply as Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, claimed responsibility for launching missiles targeting the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. According to Iranian state media and official IRGC communications, the attack was described as a surprise and targeted strike undertaken as part of a broader military retaliation against ongoing Israeli-American attacks on Iranian territory. Iranian reports assert that the missiles used in the operation included ballistic K-bar missiles, with the intent to strike not only Netanyahu's office, but also the location of the Israeli Air Force commander. Tehran claims that these missiles managed to penetrate Israel's air defenses, a point that, if true, would mark a major escalation in the conflict. The IRGC has repeatedly emphasized that the strike was carried out with precision and surprise, framing it as a direct response to what Iran calls aggressive actions against Iranian sovereignty and military sites. Iranian outlets also stated that the current status of Prime Minister Netanyahu is unclear, raising intense speculation and concern, though no independent or verified confirmation of damage to his office or injuries to him has been provided. Israeli authorities have so far neither confirmed nor publicly detailed the impact of the Iranian statement, and responses from Western governments remain cautious as the region braces for further developments. Iranian officials say the strike was part of a broader retaliatory operation amid escalating hostilities between Iran and Israel. Reports from Tehran indicate that ballistic missiles were used in the operation. Iranian military sources
urgent claims from Iran. According to Tasnim news agency, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has announced it targeted the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as part of what it calls the 10th wave.
Claimed the strike was carefully coordinated and designed to penetrate Israeli defense systems. They have framed the action as a response to what they call ongoing aggression against Iranian sovereignty. State-affiliated outlets have emphasized the strategic precision of the operation, portraying it as a direct message to Israeli leadership. Israeli officials, however, have strongly rejected Iran's narrative. Authorities have dismissed the claims as misinformation and have not confirmed any successful strike on the Prime Minister's office. At this time, there has been no independent verification confirming damage to government facilities or harm to Prime Minister Netanyahu. Security in Jerusalem remains heightened, and official channels continue to monitor the situation closely. This latest development marks one of the most direct public claims made by Iran against Israeli leadership. Analysts warn that such rhetoric, especially involving the targeting of a sitting head of government, significantly raises the stakes in an already volatile conflict. Military observers suggest that if confirmed, such an action would represent a major escalation in direct confrontation between the two nations. International leaders are urging restraint, fearing that further retaliation could destabilize the broader Middle East region. Experts say that in modern geopolitical conflicts, information warfare plays a critical role. Public claims of high-profile targeting can serve strategic purposes, including psychological pressure, signaling strength, or influencing negotiations. At the same time, without verified satellite imagery, independent reporting, or official confirmation from neutral parties, many of these claims remain part of an ongoing battle of narratives.
Catches up. The claim alone, however, carries significant strategic weight. As tensions intensify across the Middle East, the focus now shifts to confirmation, response, and potential next steps. Attribution rests with Iranian state-linked reporting, while Israeli authorities have yet to issue a formal statement.
Regime in Tel Aviv, attacks on military and security centers in Haifa, and an attack on East Jerusalem were among the objectives of the 10th wave. Previously, we had warned about the expansion of attacks on bases and the occupied territories of the aggressive enemy, and had already announced this.
The IRGC frames the move as a calibrated phase in an ongoing campaign. Leadership-linked infrastructure and senior command centers are now being cited as targets. The messaging signals escalation at the highest political and military levels.
The sound of sirens in Israel will never stop. Now we advise the residents of the occupied territories to stay away from the vicinity of military bases, security centers, and government facilities, and to immediately leave the occupied territories. The occupied territories that Netanyahu's government has forced you to live in have now become places of